Okay, I'm going to try to take another trade here. Here is the 2-minute volume profile, and we came down to the daily open here, just a little bit below. And I missed a couple of really good setups here. This pullback to the 60 was just perfect. I've got the tick plotted here. There's a high in the tick. So I'm going to turn on shorts again, and I'm going to let this, see if we can get in this trade. This is the 3 o'clock hour, and see if the pattern continues to sell off into the close. So again, stopping just below the high volume node and here at the bottom of the day. Let's see what happens. This dropped a little too fast. So I kind of forced the short trade here. And sometimes you get FOMO. Okay, I'm gonna bring my stop in. And I don't care if I get stopped out. This will be, call it what you want. This is really working out nice. Here's our goal way down here. And that was a really fantastic trade. Note the pullback to the 60 on this 2-minute chart with the volume profile and the tick. I missed the trade here, but I got the pullback on the lower high of the tick and got in a little late right here, but the market structure stayed intact. This series of lower highs and lower lows, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then another push down. And the goal on this, on the 150 tick, I think I set this one at 400. No, I set it at 520, and I think what happened here is I got stopped out by my trailing stop. I'm not going to let this turn into a loser. I'm just going to close the trade. And so 455, close enough. I probably would hit my goal, but that's okay. So yeah, pretty good trade on this one. Okay, so I wanted to come back to this chart, the second trade, and the title was, reading market structure and volume profile. So I wanted to show you what I was looking at when this trade occurred. When this happened, there was some news about oil, but I didn't know this. The oil market just basically crashed, and so there was this huge sell-off here. But from a market structure point of view, during that video I brought over the 2-minute chart and briefly touched on it, and the trade was just after the 3 o'clock hour. It was on this kind of pullback to the volatility stop here, and the market structure was clear. The day looked something like this. The market had topped out, and then there was this third test the high, and this failed, and then there was this perfect pullback to the 60, and this was at a high volume node. And notice all the selling here in this area of high volume. This is the point of control for today, around 88.21. The high of today's value area is about 88.35, and the low of today's value area, 87.49. So this trade pulled back to the low of the value area. It's right here, 1504. And so it was this high volume node. So anyway, the market structure was lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, all the way down here. But on the really small time frame, a completely different look. So I missed these two runs here. And by the way, these are 88.20 down to 87.60. That's 60 points in the NASDAQ, or 240 ticks. That's well over $1,000. And then same here, this is about $1,000 trade per contract. And so this was a perfect pullback to the 60, and I saw this, and the market was moving rapidly, and I didn't get filled, so I used our horizontal trend line entry, and I had this in, but I didn't get filled, and I clicked on the sell button. I think I went to the market, and luckily I did, because the market dropped rapidly after that, and that was the reason for the setup. I mean, I was following the averages. Everything looked beautiful here. And on this chart, this was a $500 move, even though it was a little bit risky because it was after these two, really large swings, but there's still extra push down. And then after this, there was still $500 in this long trade right here. And then the market went sideways as we were getting into the close. So, well, actually, I take that back. It came up a little more and sold off, but this is a really small time frame. So I think for trading purposes, I'm leaning more towards the 500 tick chart for the NASDAQ. It's pretty good all-around time frame, whereas the 150 is a little bit tight. It depends on the volatility. In big volatility, this can be used. But anyway, this was a really great trade, and doing this is really great practice. Waiting for these kind of setups. If I was really paying attention, I had another trade on a different chart before, so I really wasn't watching that closely here. And when I looked at my charts, I was probably away from my desk, and I saw this right away, so I kind of hurried into this trade, and I wasn't really paying attention in these other two trades. Otherwise, these were really great setups as well.